Welcome to Vulnerable Moments with Miss E. Today is Thursday, May 28th, 2020, and today's topic is pain in a picture. Have you ever been running from or masking your pain? Have you ever taken a picture and smiled, but internally you knew there was nothing but pain? Have you ever looked back at old pictures and have been triggered by past pain? Have you ever noticed that even in the midst of many, you still felt alone and empty? If that is you today, if that is how you're truly feeling today, I urge you to reach out to a mental health professional, a confidant, friend, family member, or loved one. It's time for you to confront, deal with, and/or eliminate this trigger from your life. If you're still holding on to old photo albums, pictures on your computer, and the minute that you look at them, you suddenly feel the pain that was present the day you took the picture. I mean, this picture could have been taken 10 years ago, but you still are reminded of the betrayal, the hurt, the disappointment, the frustration. If that is you, I encourage you to start eliminating those triggers from your life. Granted, might have had some fun times on a beach, may have attended some cool beach parties and gatherings or trips with friends, but you suffered a trauma in the midst of it all. The trauma could have been a form of verbal abuse, embarrassment, or it could be a reminder of something that you regretted doing. Your past is your past. Your present is your present. It's time for you to walk in your full purpose. I'm not trying to tell you that you want to erase who you are, because you are a product of who you are, and you can actually capitalize off of that pain. Turn your pain into profit. That's what today's message is about. The topic and title is called Pain in a Picture, but I'm encouraging you to turn that same pain into profit. Find a way to pitch your story and be able to pivot. A lot of us are or have made mistakes. You might even still be making mistakes, and that's okay, but don't look at it as a mistake. It's a lesson. And it's great to be able to learn and grow and build and even be thrilled by all the things that you've overcome. The one thing that I pride myself in is that even though I have been confronted with many adversities and obstacles and pain points in my life, I was able to overcome them. Do I still, as a human being, have hurtful moments? Am I still reminded of past pains at times, depending on what the situation is? It's natural. I remember right after my mother passed away, and I was yearning for her affection. I was yearning to hear her voice. I was wanting her presence. It was to the point that as I sat there on my grandmother's front steps, I saw a woman walking down the street, and I remember when my mom used to catch the bus and she would get off at the corner of my great-grandmother's block, and she always have some bags in her hand. I mean, large bags that she had just gone shopping right after she had a long, tired day at work. She would always find something that needed to be picked up from the house. And so this lady was walking down the street, and she reminded me of my mother. Complete build, the same way she wore her hair, the same way she walked. I mean, everything, the smile, the way she tilted her head as she walked, the way she worked the pavement as she walked down the street. It was everything. And my heart lit up. My eyes lit up. I was so happy. I almost ran up the street to her. But lo and behold, as this woman got closer to me, I was severely disappointed. I was so happy initially, but I was severely disappointed. So it's not just the pain in the picture that sometimes will puncture those old wounds. It's sometimes the pain and the picture of life that will trigger those traumatic experiences. And so I say to you today, turn your pain into profits, whether it's through writing a book, coming up with a short play, telling your story on YouTube, or even on a podcast. It's time for you to break out of your comfort zone. Now, for those that know me, I am not the individual to actually try my best to get in front of a camera every chance that I get. But when I'm enjoying myself, I really like to capture those moments. So most of my fondest memories, the best times I ever had in my life, are not captured in a still picture. It's actually present in my mind. And I understand what they say on social media, that there's no picture, then it doesn't exist. But the reality is it exists for me. It was personal to me and I had an enjoyable time. But here's the deal. Most of my pain was captured in pictures, and I was able to smile through it. I was able to mask my pain in large groups. I was able to, recently look back at old pictures and even be triggered by those past pain points. But I realized, you know what? I am so past that situation. I'm so past that period in my life, that point in the book of life, that it's time for me to get rid of that, because I don't want to be triggered by that anymore. So I encourage you, if there's knickknacks around your house, meaning if there's trinkets or things in your house that remind you of certain traumatic events, it's time for you to do some spring cleaning. So thank you for listening to yet another episode of Vulnerable Moments with Miss E. You have an amazing day on purpose. God bless.